Well, hello to you again, Ray.
Hello.
Thank you for coming along.
Thank you.
It does not surprise me one little bit that you have an Iron Man statue in your own collection.
Well, how could I not? Really?
Yep.
I've got to have an Iron Man in my collection. But the problem was deciding which one to choose because there's so many different manufacturers out there making them. There's a lot of decent models, and I missed out on a couple of early editions. And the rest of the designs I didn't quite like, and it wasn't the the characters so much, but the sculpt. By now you know that I really like more of an active pose, something that tells a story.
Yeah.
And that's particularly true with mech-like characters, and in this case Iron Man, because in his most neutral position, in that museum pose, he feels quite stagnant because you sort of lose all the facial features of the character behind the mask. So I'm looking for something to kind of counteract against that. More of an active pose. Yeah.
So what made you decide that this was the one for you?
Well, this is the Iron Man from the Avengers movie. It's the Mk VII by Kotobukiya, and I'm sure everyone out there, all the Iron Man geeks, have their favorite armor editions. Personally, for me, it's I like the classic Mk V from the 1970s, the Mark III, and this, the Mk VII. I just saw it and thought, that's Iron Man, unmistakably, and I loved the pose, and so yeah, that's why it was. With this particular figure, Kotobukiya have used a 3D sculpting technique, and it's aimed at bringing out more detail than the previous hand-sculpted releases. He stands as a 6th scale figure in a classic pose, his legs planted and arms held back as he fires his chest-mounted beam weapon in a devastating strike. And that's what I mean about telling a story. I mean, I like to make up my own, you know. He's falling from the sky after being shot down, and he's plummeting toward the ground, but before he hits, he regains his balance and he's using his thrusters, but he comes to a skidding halt, tearing up the earth around him, and he's ready for that counterattack. And I don't know, it's something that tells a story is, it's much better.
Well, it is an incredibly powerful pose for him, and the figure itself is excellently made.
Absolutely.
The details are so sharp, and I like how it looks like the armor is actually breathing.
Me too, me too. I think that the 3D sculpting works well for the mech-like figures. The lines end up being very clean, and the paintwork in this particular figure is excellent too. There's no blurry edges, and there's a nice glossy finish to it. In terms of assembly, it's very easy to put together. There wasn't a lot of weight to it though. When I was putting it together, I thought this would be heavier, but I was surprised by that, especially by the base. It's quite deceptive. Luckily, it still gives the desired effect, so I wasn't too bothered by that. And it's not flimsy though, so you don't have to worry about breaking it.
But there is a question that has to be asked.
What?
Does he light up?
The burning question. Yes. He's equipped with a 3-mode LED chest light-up feature. There's off, continuous on, and on that is triggered by a built-in motion detector. Awesome sauce. Iron Man's eyes also feature continuous LED lighting in both these latter modes. With this piece in your collection, say goodbye to fumbling for your phone in the dark, reading by candlelight, or midnight snacking alone. Let Iron Man be your guide.
Awesome. Good. Look, that's why I like the Art FX line.
Yes, me too. Although I do have some criticism about this statue. Yeah, statue. I thought that the chest beam could have been stronger, and I thought that the motion sensor is a little temperamental at times. That, and also the cover switch is also a little loose as well. It's a little flimsy, or at least it is on my model.
The switch itself, though, is really easily accessible, which is kind of cool. You don't have to pick up the whole thing, turn it over, switch.
That's
back
right.
on, which is really nice.
It is. Good change.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I really love the colour scheme on him. You've seen the Hot Toys Mark 42?
I have, yes.
So he's mainly gold in colour.
Yeah.
Which, I gotta say, I'm not that much of a fan of.
No, me either, actually.
This is Iron Man to me. The red, the gold. He looks really, really great. He's beautifully made, and he's definitely a buy from me.
Yeah, well, that's why I chose this piece as well. It hints at Tony's future design developments of the armor, but it still remains unmistakably Iron Man. I do like a lot more red in the armor personally, and he looks great from all angles, comes in some great packaging, and the Kotobukiya Art FX statue is also reasonably priced too, so of course I give it a buy.
Ray, do you often eat alone in the dark?
No.
Okay. I'm just checking.
Why are you gonna do that?
I worry about you.
Why are you gonna do that?